for a colorblind guy, you got that orange color in the background pretty quickly.
Just turn it on and off.
Is that all you did? Okay. Because it started turning green when you turned it on. All right.
All right.
Try not to rub the mics too hard there, Chief, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Try to be a little gentle on the microphones.
A little gentle on the microphones.
This is expensive equipment.
So yeah, so they're you ready to do this?
Yeah, I think so. Every once in a while.
Then let's do this. Welcome back to the #1 financial literacy podcast in the world. Sitting next to me on my left is my partner in crime, Chris Nahibi.
And sitting next to me on my right, my partner in time, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Saied, everybody.
Thank you, my man. And sitting behind the ones and twos is nobody. And we're just going to leave it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there. It's
Man, that new
flavor.
Monster can, yeah. Ultra Blue Hawaiian.
Not sponsored.
So good. Should be sponsored.
Should be
Yeah,
sponsored.
it's fantastic. So I have been eagerly anticipating this episode for a number of reasons. I'm going to geek out hard today.
Oh, we're going to be geeking.
Yeah, we're going to be all in on quantum computing.
Let's do this.
Which we foreshadowed in previous shows. People said they wanted to hear it. So I put this on you, everybody. Okay? You guys did this to you.
Which is a nice little piggyback off of the AI episode that we had.
And we still have to circle back on some of the AI stuff. There's a whole like ethical kind of arc to the AI argument that we really didn't cover, which is really fascinating. I was kind of building to it, but we didn't get there.
Okay.
But before we get too far into the show, we got a couple house cleaning items to get to right off the bat. So, shall I?
Please.
Look at you being all gracious and everything. It's awkward for all of us when Said's appropriate and polite. But unfortunately, you're going to get more appropriate and polite, Saied, over time because apparently...
Or fortunately.
It's...
You now don't have to listen with your AirPods on. You can listen to it in the car with your families.
That's the sad truth. So if you follow the show's social channels, we made some posts across all of our social platforms, but I'm going to go ahead and read it. I think it's probably worthwhile.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So an important update on the Higher Standard podcast for all of you who didn't happen to catch the social media channels. From day one, the Higher Standard was built on the idea of bringing financial literacy to a younger audience, but it wasn't exclusive to that younger audience. Said's got ice in his veins. Breaking down complex financial topics in a way that feels more like a conversation with friends rather than just another podcast with two allegedly experienced professionals talking in a room, which we are in at almost 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday night.
On a Thursday night. It is actually 10:04.
Oh, God. Okay. Wow. Yeah, we're old. As part of our commitment to expanding our reach and impact, my co-host Saied and I, the one and only, the Louis Anderson of podcasting.
The Louis Anderson? No, man, it's the Barry White.
I put it in the last show notes of the last show. You didn't even catch it. The big gap in your teeth.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
I got
really?
veneers, bro.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I never look at your mouth like that.
I had to get them done twice. One of them cracked.
Seriously. Do they shave your tooth down? You like that save like ugly real tooth?
I have that photo if I ever want to.
Bro, why haven't I gotten that photo from you?
I can't trust you with photos like that.
I call that the heroin teeth.
Yeah.
It's what it looks like, right? You literally got like a drug problem or something.
So it's my front four, and then I got 2 crowns on the outside. Because actually, back in the day, the orthodontist said that braces wouldn't help me. The gaps in between my teeth were too wide. That
I don't remember you having gaps.
No, you never met me. You didn't meet me with gaps. They were already fixed. Age 21.
Wow, look at you being all sorts.
No, I was self-conscious back. I used to talk with my hand over my mouth like this because I was so self-conscious.
You still do that every once in a while, you know that?
Yeah, it's a habit.
I had a birthmark on my forehead. It was like almost like one of those like Hindu like dots, but it was kind of on the left. It was a little brown one, a little circle. Yeah, try having one of those when you're a kid. Yeah, not exactly fun on the
Yeah, on the playgrounds.
Yeah,
Kids are rough, man.
And there weren't other like real Indian kids around, so they just assumed that I was Indian.
Right. Yeah.
Which
exactly.
was also racist at the time, but that was 1980s racism.
Well, a lot
totally
more,
acceptable.
The 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, as part of our continued commitment to expanding our reach and impact, my co-host and I have made the decision to remove cussing, expletives, and inflammatory language from our episodes moving forward. We don't want to make it less fun for anybody, but we also want to make sure that it's enjoyable for everyone.
Absolutely.
Right? And we also know that there's kind of a side benefit here we've talked about for a long period of time, that the algorithm doesn't really push things that have a little bit more language in it, and you get better ads and better cost per click and stuff like that on sites like YouTube. So there's a value to doing it. Our friends over at Mind Pump, often lamented to us that they had more fun on previous shows where they cussed and were a little more wild. Yeah, earlier
stages,
shows.
yeah.
But now they're a lot more corporate and structured, and they don't cuss themselves. Certainly not at the cadence that we do. So,
Yeah, this is for the greater good.
yeah,
Right?
the greater good.
And then if we really wanted to scale this thing down the road, and if we're trying to teach something like financial literacy, you would hope even people that are tuning in, listening, that understand it probably better than most, they could at least recommend it to somebody.
Yeah. So this change is more about the podcast than just words. Okay. It's about refining our content to reach a broader audience, attracting potential partners, and elevating the overall quality of the show while staying true to the authentic and engaging style that we at least aspire to be.
Right.
Right. We are also in the process of determining how the best course of action to removing our legacy content's bad language, because there's some of it there, and proceeding with however we can do that. We don't know yet. There's going to be a couple strategies we're going to run down. Our goal is to ensure that both the new and existing listeners can continue to enjoy the higher standard in a way that aligns with our evolving vision for the brand. Our mission remains the same: to provide accessible, valuable, and entertaining financial insights. We believe this evolution will allow us to do that better. Thank you all for being part of this journey with us, and your support and feedback means everything.
Yes, it does. And if that's what was holding you back this entire time, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Let's get this video out to as many people as possible. We actually have 2 viewing options for you. I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, great. You could also watch it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Or you can be listening to it on Apple. Whatever you do, leave us a review wherever you're at.
When is Apple going to get video? Like, what are you doing, Apple?
Yeah. Why haven't they?
They kind of lagged a little bit on the podcast thing.
Think so?
They're
for a long time. Remember, we looked at our ratios.
Yeah.
It was heavily one-sided to Apple Podcasts.
Now it's Spotify.
And then after they signed Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
then everyone, people started using Spotify as their podcast app.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you too.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Mm.
It's I like watching you.
Yeah, I got. Yeah.
All right. Let's last housekeeping item just to get things clear. Wall Street Journal, Fed meeting today. Interest rates unchanged. Powell speaks on decision. It was cute. Nothing happened. You didn't miss anything.
You didn't miss a single thing.
Yeah.
He didn't miss a beat. He did what he said he was going to do, and the FOMC members did what they said they were going to do. It wasn't just him, right? But they really had no leg to stand on, right? Because inflation has been technically heating back up. If you look at the headline figure,
it's flat.
It's flat, right? But there's all this talk. There's all this fear of potential tariffs coming in place, which could ultimately trickle back down to the consumer, only causing inflation to spike back up again.
Yep.
And the labor market has not been deteriorating. So at least jobs have been steady.
give the Doge group a little time, and that'll all change.
Yeah.
The FDIC, I was talking to them a couple days ago, and the day that the email came out, where they basically were offered 7 months of pay to leave.
Oh yeah,
that was a weird set of circumstances. And to see people who work there and hear how they were feeling, that's got to be weird to get that email. Just be sitting at work one day, banging away on the keyboard, and all of a sudden, hey, you want to leave your job?
We'll offer you 7 months.
I mean, it's kind of a crazy deal.
7 months, that's a pretty healthy severance package.
But people forget that if you're in a federal agency, you've also got pensions behind that too.
That's what people are working towards.
Yeah. So if you're a pensioned employee closer towards your retirement, that might be viable for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a younger employee, you're like going, I got to test the job market. I don't know if I got another job.
I mean, that's actually maybe a healthy conversation to have just briefly before we dive into
the actual cool thing about the show.
Cool thing, quantum computing. Yeah.
Supercomputing.
So I mean, that's a decision that people try to make early on in their careers, right? Is, do I want to go the corporate route, right? Or I mean, I'm thinking of it in the term of for bankers, right? Or do I go the regulatory route, and work for work for the government, work for X amount of years? What is it? 20 years, 25 years for
about 20,
about 20 years, and then they get their pension. The draw is what you get for the rest of your life. The pension is a certain percentage of your highest earned year, or
it's a pretty healthy clip on your previous salary. I don't know the actual specifics to it, but there's also a whole cohort of people who go into government, the public sector, and then will go into the private sector later on, using that as like the backbone to their resume. Like, hey, I was a regulatory advisor to so and so. Now I'm a regulatory attorney, in the private sector, and you get paid typically big money with that experience in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's a lot of different ways to kind of play that. When you're younger, most younger people who are ambitious don't want to go the regulatory route because they want that big money payout. But then as you get older, you're like, oh man, that pension. So I've been in my current job for like 17 years, a little over that, 17 years, 8 months, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I often think, oh man, if I were a federal employee, I'd be pensioned almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but there's always the fear of, and they say that it'll never go away, but isn't there an actual fear that it could?
I'm sure there is, but luckily that's not a fear we have. Now, the fear I do have is about quantum computers.
You do have, but see, I feel like the Bitcoin bros got to be fearful of quantum computing.
I would if I did not have true cold storage and I was using I don't know, like a password, encryption passwords.
Yeah.
The data we're going to give you here is going to make you go, oh, okay, I'm not safe.
Okay.
And it's going to scare you a little bit.
Let's do it.
Not intended to scare anybody, but some of the things here, concepts here get a little wild. And stay tuned to the end because it gets really bizarre because there's some theories here about how this is actually working because here's the craziest part. I'm going to give you the highlight right up front.
You're so excited.
I'm so excited. I'm gassed up, brother. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Say less. And there's a whole ton here. I don't know if you saw the show notes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's obscenely long.
Yeah.
So we might go into extra innings tonight.
Yeah.
I apologize. Right out the gate, we do not fully understand how these computers we have built work. We're using them, but we don't fully get it.
So what are we currently using them for?
Well, nothing of true value yet, but there's some phases we need to talk about as it relates to the levels of quantum computing and some milestones that we've reached. And I thought when we reached quantum supremacy, and I'll explain what that is in here in a little bit, that it was going to be huge news because it was a big deal. Like that was one of those theoretical things that became true overnight. And everyone was like,
Right.
I mean, it just sounds badass. Quantum supremacy.
Yeah, that's it. You reached the pinnacle.
Right? It sounds cool. Well, all right. So let's get into some it's going to be a little reading from me in the beginning, but this is just to set up the framework for a really good conversation.
Got it.
So bear with me.
Got it.
All right. A quantum computer is a computer that exploits quantum mechanical phenomenon compared to a classical computer, which is binary based on ones and zeros. A classical computer would take thousands of years to solve problems that a quantum computer can solve in minutes.
Yeah, it's like I feel like my brain can't even begin to think about a question that would take years and years and years to solve.
So a great example of this is like military grade encryption. If you put a binary ones and zeros normalized computer on that, it could take thousands of years for a really well encrypted, particularly government level security clearance encryption.
Right.
For a quantum computer, just minutes.
Minutes, yeah. Cracked it.
Minutes.
Done.
Right. Yeah. So on a small scale, physical matter exhibits properties of both particles and waves. And quantum computers leverage this behavior using specialized hardware. Don't worry about it. I'll explain it. Okay. So classical physics cannot explain the operation of these devices, these quantum devices. And a scalable quantum computer could perform some calculations exponentially faster than any modern classical computer. Theoretically, a large-scale quantum computer could break some widely used encryption schemes and aid physicists in performing physical simulations. However, the current state of the art is largely experimental and impractical, with several obstacles to useful application. Spoiler alert, these things have to operate in hyper-cold climates, which take a ton of energy. The newest science in quantum computing is trying to create qubits, which I'll explain in a minute, that operate at room temperature. Once you do that, the wheels are coming off this bad boy. That is tantamount to AGI in the AI world, right? Artificial general intelligence, where basically you're talking to a machine that can talk back to you and doesn't need you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So then here's my initial question for you.
Okay.
Who has access to this?
Oh man, there are three main players in the game right now that are substantial. One of which is China. There's Google. There's NASA. Right. Google and NASA are actually partnered on their projects.
Okay.
They've actually named their computers, and we'll talk about the three versions that are out there. And they've obviously gotten increasingly more complex. But China's is interesting because they don't have the same rules that we do.
Right.
Yeah, they're kind of unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got some interesting things going on there where we can talk about some of the nuances of their particular quantum computer and what makes it special. we'll get there later.
Mm-hmm.
So the basic unit of information in quantum computing is the qubit, or a quantum bit. It serves the same function as the bit in a classical computer. And a bit really is just a 1 or a 0. That's a bit. We've all seen it. DOS prompt, little flashing icon, 1, 0. That's a bit. Right? However, unlike a classical bit, which can be in one of two states, a binary state of a 1 and a 0, a qubit can exist in a superposition of its two states, state bases states, right? A state that is, I'll explain this very simply, by the way. A state that is abstract sense between two states at any given time.
Okay.
When measuring a qubit, the result of a probabilistic output of a classical bit. A quantum computer manipulates the qubit in a particular way. Wave interference effects and can amplify in desired measurement and results. So here's what I'm saying to you. A normal computer is binary, 1s and 0s.
Yep.
But a qubit-based computer, a quantum computer, can be a 1, it can be a 0, or it can be both.
Okay.
And that fluidity, right? So think of 2 or 3 qubits in a row, right? That fluidity, if they wave, right? If they're waving up and down from 1 to 0 to neutral, they're constantly in this fluid state, this wave state.
Right.
And because of that, they're not going, is the password 1001001? They're going all the password checks all at the same time.
Yeah.
And because of this fluidity, it's really interesting. And what they found with the qubit is there's no proximity required. So you can have a qubit on one side of the room, you have a qubit in this side of the room, and they still react with one another no matter how far apart they are. This part of the conversation will get really interesting when you start talking about the question of, are we actually doing something based in a computer, or are we tapping into a parallel dimension? Nerd alert, right here.
Because so my initial question to you on who has access to this, right? You say you said Google and NASA. Okay. From the outside looking in, right there, you think, okay, trusted source. We already trust them already with
NASA.
Yeah,
I don't know if we ever went to the moon, bro. There's some challenges there. Did you know that
we're not doing this? No, we're not doing this. We're not doing conspiracy theory hour at the top of the show, bro. We don't want to lose anybody. I know you can. I know
yeah. It's not real.
My favorite was like, who was recording him coming out?
Yeah.
That was the best.
I'm just saying, to this day, no scientist can explain how you can get past our radiation belts, which pretty much cover the entire world.
Yeah.
Right? You can't explain to me how you can get past those and live.
Yeah.
But somehow we found the narrowest way through over Antarctica at the time that the moon mission went to the moon. We've only done it, I mean, we haven't done it in like decades.
Yeah.
Right? We've never really seen it. With today's technology, you get a pretty convincing image. You know what I mean?
So my biasness towards NASA is, listen, we can say we're YouTubers now.
I feel like we can.
We can.
We're on YouTube right now.
So one of my kids' favorite YouTubers is this guy named Mark Rober. Have you heard of him?
No.
I think you may have seen his stuff before. You got to get Carter on this. Okay.
I don't want to do that.
No. He's first of all, he's clean. Super clean.
Like our show today.
Yeah, like
that's
our
awkward for everybody.
Yeah, I know. Super clean, and he's an engineer from NASA, worked in NASA for 10 years, and now he's a full-time YouTuber, and he does stuff for kids, videos for kids.
Okay, what's wrong with the world when a NASA employee makes more money and is happier being on YouTube?
He makes great stuff, and so he does these monthly subscriptions for kids, and you can build the toys, and it's teaching them physics and science, and he makes science cool, right? So my kids are fully bought in. He did that thing. You definitely saw this going around where he created a glitter bomb for thieves that were stealing packages. That was him that created that. Did you ever hear about that?
Glitter bombs are not top of my feed. No.
No. This thing went viral.
I've seen it.
Okay, you said okay. So yeah, so that's him. Anyways, that's where my biasness comes from. But the fear for me, right, is okay. You say China has access to it,
yeah,
right? Where my thought process was going is, at some point can this become something that individuals, people, or maybe
not in its current structure now.
Private organizations can have.
Private organizations do. I mean, Google is effectively a private organization. I mean, they're not government backed.
Right. Okay.
If you're talking about like private as in like quiet, no one's ever going to hear from you, like small.
Right.
We're way away from that because you need like a nuclear power plant to power some of these things.
Right. And then you think about, okay, so you're saying a country like China has it, right? What does that mean? What kind of impact could that have on potential warfare? Like, I feel like what we think of war from back in the day is no longer the case.
Well, look what happened on the East Coast recently with all the quote drones, the size of a car staying in the air for like 15 hours. We don't know where these are coming from. That feels a little weird to me. Just saying, like I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I've never seen a flying car for 15 hours just hovering above my house. Like that would be weird.
That is weird.
You know, like, so I think there's a whole lot technologically that we're just not getting information on. This is one of those things where I feel pretty comfortable saying that this is where we're at. There's not a whole lot more than this.
Okay.
But when this gets weaponized, it changes the game, brother. Combine this with AI and we're pretty much extinct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quantum computers are not yet practical for real work. So what we're talking about today is largely theoretical.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll explain to you how we achieved quantum supremacy and how we hit these milestones and how they did it. They basically did it with cracking a code.
Okay.
Right. So physically engineering high-quality qubits has proved to be challenging. If a physical qubit is not sufficiently isolated from its environment, it suffers from quantum decoherence, introducing noise into calculations and noise errors, right? So national governments have invested heavily in experimental research that aims to develop scalable qubits with longer coherent times and lower error rates. An example implementation includes superconductors, which isolate an electrical current by eliminating electrical resistance and ion traps and a bunch of other weird stuff for magnetic field purposes. And this is the end of the narrative here briefly, so bear with me. We're almost done with the nasty setup, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In principle, a classic computer can solve the same computational problems as a quantum computer given enough time. Quantum advantage comes in the form of time complexity rather than computability. And quantum complexity theory shows that some quantum algorithms are exponentially more efficient than the best known classical algorithms. A large-scale quantum computer could, in theory, solve computational problems unsolvable by a classical computer in any reasonable amount of time. This concept of extra ability has been called quantum supremacy, which we have achieved. Okay? While such claims have drawn significant attention to the discipline, near-term practical use cases remain limited. All right. So now we get into the meat. We're going to break all this down and make it seem not so scary and daunting.
Okay. I'm thinking about can you really train this thing?
Not yet. Not yet. There's too much error built in, and it's too fragile of a system.
Okay.
But it does work. So I can guarantee you some government somewhere is using this to crack codes right now.
Has to be.
Has to be. All right. So superposition, the power of being in multiple states at once. In your case, imagine being fat and skinny at the same time.
At the same time.
It's also known as skinny fat. So what is superposition?
Still PG-13.
I didn't use an expletive when I insulted you.
That's acceptable.
I insulted you in a classy way.
Yeah. The 90s way.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah.
In classical computing, a bit can only be the zero and the one we talked about, right? So in quantum computing, a qubit or a quantum bit can be 0, 1, or both at the same time. That is called superposition. Superposition.
Yeah.
It's a tongue tangler.
Yeah.
Superposition.
Yeah.
All right. This allows quantum computers to perform multiple calculations simultaneously instead of sequentially. So they don't have to go, 001, 002. They can be 111, 222 all at the same time.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Trying them all at the same time is crazy.
Which is kind of wild when you think about it, because then if this can literally, break in this already today, can break military grade encryption today in minutes. That's the thing. You can't tell me that NASA has this and I'm like, let's see what China's got going on over there. Let's hack their systems.
100%.
You're not gonna encrypt out. I mean, unless you got like biometric indicators. I mean, this is why when you have like crypto, you need cold storage, bro.
Yeah.
In cold storage, I mean, you have like a
that's
device.
The whole thing. That's what the whole thing is based off of, is the encryption.
Yeah.
Right? The blockchain.
But you need to have your device with your codes encrypted in a separate like USB, not connected to the internet. Because if it is connected to the internet and someone can access it and they have a quantum computer, say goodbye to your encryption protections.
Yeah.
In minutes.
Yeah. Your Bitcoin is now mine.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Done. So how does this all work? Imagine flipping a coin or a light switch. I had to come up with some simple examples for you, Simple Jack.
Hey, I'm a very simple person.
Yeah. All right. So a classical bit is like a coin. You flip it, heads 0, tails 1. Okay. One defined state at all times. You're either going to get heads or you're going to get tails. That's it.
Right.
Or think of a light switch. It's either on or off, up or down.
Yes.
If it was my light switch, it'd always be up.
Oh, right.
Never down.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
There is no in between.
Got it.
Unless you got one of those messed up light switches where you can put it in between, the lights kind of flicker a little bit, and you're like, you're going to get shocked.
I used to do that as a kid.
Yeah. They don't have us anymore. Everybody has like those toggle switches now.
Yeah, I remember like back in the day, the switch is just so much more satisfying.
Yeah, the sound, the pound.
Yeah, flick it up with a finger.
You can actually flick the light switch.
Yeah.
Now you got to slap it.
Yeah.
Slap it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A qubit in superposition is like a spinning coin. It exists at both heads and tails at the same time until you measure it. Or imagine a dimmer switch instead of a simple on or off switch. The light can be any brightness level between fully on or fully off at any given time. See, I made that all simple, right?
Yeah.
Everybody got that.
It's hard to like envision it because you don't light is being on and light is being off.
Yeah, but if you have a dimmer switch, like I have one of those at the house, the little shuttle goes up and down on the side of the light switch.
Yes.
So you can shuttle it all the way down, all the way up, and it'll change the intensity of the light.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So effectively, imagine that going up and down at all times. That's effectively your qubit state.
Mm-hmm.
And until you go, okay, what's the light at right now?
At an extremely fast cadence.
Right.
Right.
So it's like jiggling a key to get into a lock, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly jiggling up and down so you can get it in the lock.
Right.
Terrible reference. I probably should use the other two.
Brain has been working overtime on this episode.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I geek out on this stuff hard.
No, yeah. No.
People are like, this is a financial literacy podcast. What the shit's going on? We're going to get there.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Ooh, I just cussed. That doesn't count, right?
Come on.
I mean, we're still in the entry phase. In 27 minutes.
Timestamp
it. All right. So the power of superposition means that a quantum computer with n qubits can represent 2 to the n state at once. I'm going to do the math for you because we all know we don't do math well in the show. It's a financial literacy podcast. But
why do you use calculators?
Yes, I know, right? An example, a 3-qubit system can represent 2 to the third power, which equals about 8 states at the same time, right? So 8 states simultaneously. It can be 000, 001, 010, 011, 100, 101, 110, 111.
All the possibilities.
All that at the same time. It's all those numbers at any given time. But compare that to a classical 3-bit system, which can only have one of those states at a time. So a 3-bit system would be 000.
Got it.
This one is 8 options all at once.
Right.
And you can see how this can roll out. So why does superposition matter? It's an exponentially increasing computing power. Think of this as compound interest, right?
Okay.
So a quantum computer with 50 qubits in superposition can perform calculations on 1 quadrillion possible states at once, 2 to the 50th power, right? So that's 50 qubits can do 1 quadrillion. That's more numbers than I'm ever going to be able to count in my entire lifetime,
100%.
right? All those possibilities at once. As in, like, you turn it on, you point in the direction, whammy. All those possibilities all at the same time.
Okay, so but this is what I need to know. Okay. I need to know what good could this be used for?
Besides cracking passwords?
Yeah.
Lots, brother.
Yeah.
Lots. Well, that's actually next on the list, which is kind of a segue from you, but you didn't know it was next on the list.
I did, though.
You didn't know that.
I read the whole show.
Yeah.
I read the show notes.
Dirty. All right. So this is what gives quantum computers potential to solve problems that would take classical computers thousands of years, okay? Google's Sycamore quantum computer used superposition to complete a calculation in 200 seconds that would take the world's fastest supercomputer 10,000 years. Bruh.
Yeah.
The world's fastest supercomputer.
So are they going to be able to use this to be able to cure cancer? That's my question.
Presumptively, yes.
That's what I want to know.
You could have just said that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can cure cancer, Saied. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we cure cancer?
It's going to make all the work that we're doing now with computers look incredibly rudimentary. Like, you know, when we had the Atari, better than the Atari. You ever see that original video game where you slide the stick up and down on the sides? And it goes ping, ping. It looks like a tennis court, but digital.
Right. I went to the National Museum of Video Games when I was, was in Frisco.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had all of it. And I thought my kids were going to be so excited. They weren't phased. They didn't get it at all. But for me, I was in heaven.
Yeah, it's like Pages for us. They're like, wait. This like comic book looking image doesn't have 3D, and you can't go like different. What?
I give my son credit. He was trying hard to appreciate it. He went and sat down. He was playing all the games. He just kind of looked at me like.
You ever play Kung Fu on the original Nintendo?
No.
Oh my God,
They had the original Game Boys there.
Yeah.
It was
Black
amazing.
and white.
Yeah.
The ink dyed like screens.
They had the one with the little camera on top too.
Oh yeah, those came out years later though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were a big time hit, but the picture is so pixelated you can't even tell it's you.
Yeah, they had Game Genie.
Oh yeah. Did they have Power Glove? The Nintendo Power Glove?
They had it there. It was behind a case. It was amazing. It had everything.
You couldn't put your hand in it and feel around?
No, because see how gross that would be.
What do you mean?
Yeah, everyone put their hand in there. It'd be kind of nasty.
I didn't say it was a community Power Glove.
I mean, do you still shake people's hands?
Oh yeah.
So you don't do a fist bump thing like, hey, put it there, dude.
No, I feel like you can't be a professional to do that.
No. In the professional setting, obviously, you got to shake hands in the professional setting. But I mean, you're not going around shaking people's hands at the gym.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. At the gym?
I rarely. I have headphones on. I got a hat on. I'm looking down. I don't want to be your friend at the gym. But if you come up to me in a business sense and you're like, "Hey, man, blah blah blah," hey, how are you? I love quantum computers. I shake your hand. That's what I do.
I love quantum computers.
I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Now,
Someone who hears this is gonna be like, "Hey, bro, quantum computing, me, you guy."
Yeah.
It's gonna be a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, financial modeling. Instead of simulating a single market condition, quantum computers can analyze all possible financial scenarios at once. All.
Everything that could go wrong.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, just play the stock market. I got it.
Just tell me what's going to happen in all scenarios.
Yeah.
I am all.
Yeah. Imagine trying to argue with it. That's it.
These are all the possibilities. No, seriously. How many? No, these are all of them. All? There's no other ones? Nope. These are it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I can tell you that too. By the end of the year, the stock market can go up 20%, 19%, 18%, 17%.
Please refer to
60%.
Saied from now on as all. You'll be referred to as all. Only all. I am all.
Yeah.
All is going to be quiet now so I can read.
Let's go.
Drug discovery. Instead of testing one molecular interaction at a time, quantum computers can simultaneously simulate all possible molecular combinations at once. All. Can you imagine that? These scientists sitting in labs right now testing one particular molecular challenge at a time. They're just going through, am I closer to curing cancer now? Am I closer? This will be like, okay, we tried all of them. This one cures cancer. Like in seconds.
In seconds, yeah.
You're not talking like years. You're talking like seconds. It's crazy.
Man.
So Entanglement, the mysterious quantum link. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
They're
going to make this into a movie.
You're going to make the sound.
Ooh.
There you go. I can't believe you made it sound. Entanglement is a deep connection between qubits, no matter how far apart they are. Like Saied and I, we're always connected.
Yeah.
So when two qubits become entangled, their states are interdependent, meaning if you measure one, you instantly know the state of the other one. This happens instantly, even if the qubits are on opposite sides of the universe. This is why Einstein called it a spooky action at a distance.
If Einstein's calling it spooky, then you know it's...
What's crazy to me is Einstein, back then, was talking about quantum entanglement like he knew what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
One day we will have a computer who does this. And when we do, it is going to be kind of spooky.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's my best Austrian accent. Sorry, that's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. So imagine you and a friend each have a pair of entangled dice. Because I got to come up with these basic examples for you. Right?
There you go. Give it to me.
Right? If you roll yours and it lands on a 3, my die instantly adjusts to match your 3, even if I'm in a different country. Right?
Insane.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Spooky.
Yeah.
The connection is immediate. There's no delay, no transmission of information. It just is. All just is.
It just is.
I'm making you the Zoolander 2 character.
That's what you are.
Okay?
That's what you're doing.
In quantum computing, entangled qubits share information instantly. This allows quantum computers to process and transfer information far more efficiently than classical computers. So I'm going to give you a visual metaphor. Okay?
Give it to
because, again, light switches,
me.
flipping coins,
Dimmers.
dies,
Right.
dimmers.
Yeah.
What do you think's next? Twins, brother.
Twins.
Had to do it. And not Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, which would be apropos for you and I. Right?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. You're beyond Arnold, right?
Why? Because Danny DeVito has a better acting career?
It's because you got more hair.
Yeah.
All right. Imagine you have a pair of identical twins who always dress the same, despite popular belief that's not you and I. One twin moves to New York and the other moves to Tokyo. The moment the twin in New York decides to put on a red shirt, the twin in Tokyo instantly puts on a red shirt too, even though they never communicated about it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's how entanglement works. Change one entangled qubit, and its twin changes instantly, no matter how far apart they are in the world or, come on,
Universe.
the parallel dimension, baby.
Oh, we're there.
We're tapping in.
That's it.
Yeah. This is how Thanos got here.
Oh, wow.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I know exactly how he got here, bro. No, but what I was thinking is, yeah, that's where we get the deja vu.
Could be. So we're entering now the part of quantum computing where people don't understand how this works, but we're still doing it anyway because that's what we do. We do stuff until we figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Humans.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what? This could be tapping into a parallel dimension. You could get like some weird alien coming through. We don't know. But we're going to keep doing it until we do know.
Yeah.
Got to admire the tenacity.
And we're
Right?
we're gonna solve this and just create another parallel dimension.
Yeah. Or we're just going to have a nuclear reaction and kill everybody.
God forbid.
You know?
Bro. God forbid.
So why does entanglement matter? It enables quantum teleportation, the ability to transmit quantum states without physically moving particles. Now, if you're, a fan of Star Trek.
Okay. No, I was not.
Okay, so you're a terrible human being.
Star Trek?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Gene Roddenberry.
Is it true? Like back in the day, was it ever like Star Wars versus Star Trek? Was that a thing?
That was the thing. Yeah. You were either a Trekkie or you were into Star Wars. Yeah.
Well, what about if you were not into either?
You were antisocial.
No, because now it's like Harry Potter versus Star Wars, and I'm Harry Potter all the way.
I don't think that's an appropriate. They're not both space odysseys, you know.
No, but that's
not a thing.
It's a real thing.
No, it's not.
Oh,
You're not gonna be like, I love Harry. No, Darth Vader. I mean, it's not. That's not.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Hagrid and Darth. It's not a thing.
Okay, so if you're a Star Trek fan.
Clearly. It speeds up quantum computations. Classical computers have to exchange information bit by bit, but entangled qubits can instantaneously interact. There's a lot of ints words here. So it enhances quantum cryptography. Since entanglement is impossible to intercept without breaking the link, it's being used for unbreakable encryption. So the future encryption will come from this, a fluid state of encryption where your password is constantly changing because your password is in qubits, not in traditional binary ones and zeros anymore.
The only way to access it would have to be something that is unique to you. So like your fingerprint or facial recognition, that kind of thing?
Well, first of all, you would encrypt it in such a way that no one could break it. And then you would have to have your access codes probably biologically, to your point, or maybe you have a qubit-based system which enables you to access it. I have no idea how that's going to work.
Yeah.
Effectively, you could have an unbreakable encryption. Now, here's instantly, I'm like, can you imagine the poor crypto bro who like lost his password?
And
you have an unbreakable.
There was that guy that had like
two attempts left.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still sitting on those 2 attempts.
You don't try that. You just give up at that point.
No, you got to wait. You wait out quantum computing.
Yeah, you got to wait it out.
At this point.
Yeah, and then hope it's still worth money by then. Can you imagine it's like it's going downhill on the price, and you're like just watching your price of your unattainable Bitcoin going down? Yeah. Supercharged AI. Yeah, baby.
Okay.
The meat of this burrito. Entanglement enables AI algorithms to process massive data sets exponentially faster than classical systems. Right now, we are using AI in the capacity of it being in a digital world, living like a digital girl. Okay. And it's already getting smarter than us. We already have AGI on the horizon this year, possibly next year at the latest. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of argument and debate about, when and how that could be. But what if AI was not only smarter than you and had access to more information than you, it was also incredibly faster than anything humanly possible?
Yeah.
Right? There's an argument that you're kind of already there.
Yeah.
But this would propel the possibility of what AI can do in a way that we just can't fathom. Right?
Yeah. Put them together as a tag team. That's just an unbeatable duo.
All right. The hierarchy, baby. I got to power through this. We got a lot.
Okay.
Because I want to get to the end where we talk about, parallel dimensions and teleporting.
Okay. Because I can tell you put a lot of thought into this.
I did. And by a lot of thought, I mean I read it once.
Yeah.
All right. So quantum utility. the stage where quantum computers start offering practical benefits for real-world applications, even if they aren't outperforming classical computers in everyday normal tasks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Example, IBM claims its quantum systems have reached utility in solving chemistry and material science problems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That already happened. We've reached the point of quantum utility. And for years, there was this inflection point where everyone's like, oh my God, when we reach quantum supremacy, oh man, it's a game changer, bro. And we reached it and no one said a word.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think this happened? Do you know? Do you even recall? Do you recall like a news story?
I want to say 5 years ago.
Okay, well, good guess. The moment when a quantum computer performs a task that no classical computer could achieve in a feasible time frame,
Mm-hmm.
you now have a quantum supremacy event.
Mm-hmm.
This happened in 2019. Google's Sycamore quantum processing computer achieved quantum supremacy, solving a problem in 200 seconds that would take the world's fastest supercomputer 10,000 years. So they did it, right? Now, this wasn't like the world's most complicated problem. It was like, guess the password. But yeah, the same problem, if attempted on Summit, the most powerful classical supercomputer at the time, would have approximately taken 10,000 years to solve. So it wasn't just like, oh, hey, your MacBook at home could solve this in 10,000 years. No, the world's most powerful supercomputer, which, by the way, is the size of a football field, could solve this in 10,000 years.
Yeah.
This solved it in 200 minutes. Can you imagine being the guy who built 200 seconds? Can you imagine being the guy who built the supercomputer?
Yeah, he's like, assholes.
Damn it.
Yeah.
That's a cussing.
Oh.
Yeah, you just think you did it.
I did it. Okay, so one. Timestamp it.
Yeah, 1 part.
Man, I thought I was gonna make it through the whole episode.
Yeah, it's learning curve.
Yeah, it's learning curve. We're trying.
We're gonna get there. We're trying. This meant that Sycamore performed 1.5 trillion times faster than the best classical machine on this specific problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is one more state, quantum advantage, which we have yet to reach. Okay,
I feel like this is the FOMC and them coining all these different phrases. The Goldilocks scenario, the soft landing, the hard landing, all these. They're just adding a new scenario every time.
Are you doing a little Trump inflection there on purpose?
No,
you did a little Trump lippy.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Scenario.
No.
You were doing that.
No.
You were doing it.
Gotta respect the helm, bro.
Yeah. When quantum computing starts consistently outperforming classical systems in commercially viable tasks, we are not here yet.
Mm-hmm.
Still theoretical, but rapidly approaching reality as error rates are declining and hardware has been improving, IBM challenged Google's claim from the 2019 Sycamore experiment, arguing that the problem could be solved in 2.5 days on a classical computer rather than 10,000 years. But that doesn't matter. Even if it could be solved in 2.5 days versus 10,000 years, this alleged problem, you still have a quantum supremacy event because it solved it much faster than the supercomputer could. So it's irrelevant. They're just arguing that the gap between the two's processing ability isn't as big as they said. But there was never really a solution there because everybody agreed you still attained quantum supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
The debate highlighted that quantum supremacy was demonstrated. We are still far from achieving the quantum advantage where quantum computers can consistently outperform these classical ones in practical tasks because this is only breaking a simple code. So now we're going to talk about Google and NASA's partnership. We're going to talk about IBM and why they have a voice in this conversation. We're going to talk about China's quantum leap, and I cannot say their supercomputer name, so just be prepared. If you're Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese, I don't care what language you speak. I'm going to butcher this pretty badly.
You're gonna actually give it an attempt, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give. I've practiced like 4 times. Like I'm ready.
You're ready?
Yeah, it's going to sound like an expletive, by the way.
No,
but not an expletive.
But it's not. Yeah.
All right. So, Google's AI quantum lab at NASA's Ames Research Center is home to this Sycamore processor we've been talking about.
Okay.
NASA's interest is in simulating complex space missions and optimizing spacecraft trajectories and cracking next-gen material science, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Seems like a pretty PC reason for you to be interested, right?
Okay, this is NASA saying this?
Yeah.
They're just jealous of all the advancement that Elon's been able to do.
First of all, can I get a little bit of kudos for me calling that Starlink and Apple were connecting on?
Yes, you got that.
I had that months in advance.
You called that.
I knew it was going to happen. I gave everybody the stock tip of a lifetime, and no one took it. They're just like, oh, he's crazy. Man, he's crazy. You know, people sent me that article the day that came out, like, wow. Beep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly, Google's ambitions, strong emphasis on the word allegedly, are building a useful quantum computer by 2029 with practical applications.
Practical applications?
Or tapping into the world's Bitcoin supply and stealing everybody's money. You know what? Who cares?
It could.
Either way.
I feel like with the milestones that quantum computing has reached, this is a larger threat to job disruption than AI.
Yeah. If you're somebody who runs models for a living, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to run it through AI, and it takes time. You have to explain it to AI. AI does some weird stuff. If you ever generated images on AI, the fingers all come back weird. It can't spell at all.
Yes.
It's like you're like, what? How? You're a computer. Spelling should be like fundamental for you.
Right.
And it always spells things wrong. Like there's a gap in AI. Like, it's frustrating. But,
I've literally had to tell it before when like making some of the images that had signs in the past and say like on the banner, spell it like this.
And then it'll spell it the wrong way again.
Still, again, yeah.
Because AI I think AI knows, but it's messing with us. Tell me what to do again. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not there yet.
Spell sausage without the A. What?
Yes.
It's incredibly weird. But so Google's quantum AI lab is experimenting with quantum error correction, a critical step in making them more viable. So basically, the errors and the problem with the computations come because the temperature can't be controlled. They're really, really sensitive to the environment. So this is obviously not a good thing. If you had to use your computer, in a limited capacity, in a very sterile environment at all times, would you really be using your computer that frequently? And the answer is no. So they're not commercially viable. IBM's quantum roadmap's a bit different. They have something known as the Eagle processor. It's 127 qubits. They have the Osprey, which was their next level, 433 qubits. And there are plans for Condor. Sounds powerful, right?
It does.
1,121 qubits. Keep in mind, 50 is significant.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And, having that many, that's a problem. So let's see here. I think I had a quantum computer with 50 qubits in superposition can perform calculations 1 quadrillion possible states at once. That's just 50, right? They're talking about they're working on and likely going to put out soon a processor called Condor with 1,121 qubits. You're going to reach a point where it's just the processing power is endless.
You can't even fathom.
There are not enough possibilities to use that many qubits that we're going to get to.
Right.
So IBM's Quantum System 1 is operational in Germany, Japan, and the US. Why have one when you can have them operating everywhere?
At the same time.
It just seems a little weird. It seems a little excessive.
It does. Why?
It's just because IBM's out here. International business machines.
It feels like getting the massive pickup truck with the massive tires on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like, why? You don't come on.
How are you going to put something in the back?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You ever seen the ones with the hydraulics that lower in the back?
Oh, they have to, yeah.
Except I always look at those and go, wait a minute. But then how do you get it up the angle in the back? And there's something
it's like frightening to get out of those things.
It's frightening. For you, little people.
It is. I need a parachute to get out of there.
Not me. All right. The moment you guys all have been waiting for. China's quantum leap. The Jizhuang.
Not DeepSeek.
Not DeepSeek. 2.0 quantum computer developed by Chinese researchers claims to perform calculations exponentially faster than classical supercomputers. China is investing billions in quantum technology, leading in quantum communication and cryptography.
That should go to show you. They invested $5 million into DeepSeek, and they're like, that was cute. We're going to invest all of our money into quantum computing.
Yeah. Billions, and they're focusing on communication and cryptography. Getting your passwords and then making fun of you for it at the same time.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, those Bitcoins are cute.
With qubits.
Yeah.
All right.
You are the weakest link.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. So there is a noise qubit problem. Okay.
Oh, is there?
Quantum computers require extreme cooling, negative 273 degrees Celsius, and isolation from noise. So it's a little bit colder than my cold plunge at home.
Negative 270.
Qubits are incredibly fragile and prone to errors. Scientists are working on a fault tolerance quantum computer, but quantum error correction remains one of the biggest hurdles. Some experts predict a 10 to 20 year timeline for true commercial applications. Others argue we will see hybrid quantum classical computer models in the next few years. I think if you get AI working on this problem, maybe faster.
Maybe a little bit faster. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you have them tag team a little bit.
So, how much power does a quantum computer need to work? Well,
I feel like it'll shut down the entire electric grid.
it's not that bad, but it's close.
Yeah.
So, quantum computers require massive amounts of power compared to classical computers, but most of that energy is used for the cooling and maintaining stability of the system, not for the actual computing itself. So, just keeping it cold while it runs,
Right.
like me in the cold plunge.
This is insane, man.
In the morning.
Because otherwise it would overheat.
These things are very fragile, so you don't keep them in a constant state of like damn near frozen.
Yeah, just imagine the people that were testing this out. Like, I know this thing works now. It should work. We
Yeah.
just got to keep lowering the temperature to figure out what's the sweet spot.
Well, who was the guy who was like, 273 degrees negative, perfect?
I mean, yeah, how many failed attempts were there before that?
And how do you get it that cold?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you got to be, you got to be using a lot of chemicals.
I feel like we're investing a lot of money into the thing that's going to ultimately destroy us.
Yeah.
Whereas we could have just stopped spending that money and just solved inflation.
Oh, man. It is a financial literacy podcast.
I had to bring it back.
Yeah, it is. So, Google's Sycamore processor, that one from 2019, it requires about 26 kilowatts to operate, similar to the power consumption of about 10 to 12 American households. 99% of this power is used to cool the system and maintain the superconducting qubits at a near absolute zero somewhere, negative 273 degrees Celsius, or if you're a Fahrenheit fan, negative 459 degrees Fahrenheit.
You're a Fahrenheit fan? For the kids out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're not science guys, so we're not Celsius.
You're not making the conversion.
F's only on the show.
Yeah.
IBM's quantum systems, IBM's quantum computers, such as IBM's Eagle 127 qubits, require a dedicated cryogenic system with power consumption in the range of 20 to 30 kilowatts. The upcoming IBM Condor, that one with 1,121 qubits, will need even more power for cooling the error correction. I'm talking nuclear power plant.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not simple or cheap. D-Wave's quantum computer, D-Wave Quantum Annealers, operates at 15 milliwatts for the actual computation, but the cooling and systems require about 25 kilowatts. China's Zhuang is a photon-based version of this, apparently. Uses light-based qubits, protons, significantly reducing power consumption, but still needs extensive laser and cooling systems.
I wonder how much money has gone into this. Do you know?
Billions. Yeah, it's pretty massive. And
where your boy Trump is looking to raise another $500 billion for AI, to build out infrastructure for AI.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I got it right. Trump announced he's going to work on a joint venture to bring AI infrastructure. He's trying to raise $500 billion in utilizing OpenAI and SoftBank. $500 billion. Why don't we take that money and invest it towards this?
Your buddy retirement money, man. Just,
Yeah. How you gonna let Social Security just go away? Do you know what I mean? Like,
there's so many weird things going on politically.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else, but for me, for the first time in my life, I'm so mentally taxed that I just need a break. I can't do the political stuff. I normally would read every single night when I can't sleep, which is pretty regularly. I would read most of the night, and I can't bring myself to do it. And I got a lot going on in my personal life, that's making things challenging. And we're certainly with the build out of the studio and everything else going on, it's been taxing. But I just can't with the political stuff, the financial stuff.
Yeah,
I just need a little bit of time to regroup and get back into it.
Do you have an unwinding process, like at night?
Other than like a shower and
yeah, I feel like unwinding requires a little bit more time than just showering.
Yeah, I don't ever really unwind. That's kind of the thing. Like I
Really?
don't. I'm always kind of wound tight. Yeah, at some point I need to really. This is probably TMI. I need to sit down and think about the priorities in my life. When you're young, you want money, success. And now I just want to see my son grow up.
Yeah, man. I know.
I want to be around more And there's a part of me that's like, Chris, you could make more money. And I say to myself, but why?
At what cost?
At what cost?
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's not the same anymore.
For us, I mean, this is this might be TMI too, but worth sharing that my son had a recent scare.
I think you all had the scare, but
Yeah, where he had an abnormal growth on his finger that we were able to catch, and relatively quickly, in my opinion, we looked back at some old photos, and that wasn't there in August,
yeah.
and now is at the point where it was raised so you could feel it. And now he's set to have surgery because the biopsy said it was abnormal. They didn't come out flat out right and say that it was benign, but it was abnormal and that it could turn into the worst possible outcome. So we should just remove it now.
Yeah.
So
smart.
Which is smart, yeah. So he's got, and you start to think about those things and you think, man, like, really puts things into perspective.
Yeah. What am I stressing out about?
What, like, there's a, you know what I mean? He doesn't know the difference.
My son had his tonsils removed,
Mm-hmm.
and putting him under anesthesia and putting him out was probably one of the most emotionally taxing things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Seeing your kid get loopy.
Right.
And
Yeah, that
sleep,
I can imagine. Because they do that for taking your tonsils out, huh? They put you that makes sense.
Put you out, and then the point where he's loopy and having fun, is okay, but then when he falls asleep and you've got to say goodbye to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard, man.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, so it's, for us too, like over the last, I'd say, year or so, we've been really more careful with our spending, and so at times, the wife and I will be like, are we being a little too tight right now? Like, do you think the kids feel it? And to be honest with you, no, they're happy. They're still happy.
They don't feel it quite the same. They build memories with you being there. I've been spending a lot of money on the new studio, and I have this like weird thing. I want to do the work. I'm a contractor. I should be able to do the work, but time is so limited. And I can do stuff at nights and weekends. And you've seen me like every weekend. I'm over there like Saturday or Sunday or something for like a couple hours, or whatever. But it's a really slow pace. So I've got a bunch of IKEA stuff, even the kitchen stuff, which I think is gonna look really good. Oh, by the way, it's anthracite black.
Nice.
And yeah, it's some of the nicer shelves. But
all black, everything.
Yeah, I got to figure out a way to do some LED integration and stuff like that. But I'm gonna put all this together and install them myself. And then I was gonna do the framing myself, but it's a pony wall, and I don't want to have any kind of building code issues, so I'm gonna have somebody else frame the pony wall. And then I was like, okay, do I want to do the ceiling? So I'm gonna have somebody else do the joists so that I can. But I'm probably gonna drywall it to save money. It's just a never-ending thing. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, there's a lot of money to go into a show we don't make any money for.
Right.
But is this the right move? And I think it is. Plus, we have our own dedicated space, and guests will be a lot more comfortable in that environment. I think. I hope.
Right. It's gonna come out looking amazing.
I hope so.
But yeah, you start to question, like, man, this is a lot of resources going this way when, you have, and which you do enough too on the side too to make sure that he's taken care of and he's still experiencing life and all the good behind it too. But you're like,
he's going to Disneyland twice again this week, tomorrow and Saturday.
That's his home away from home.
Yeah, bro lives there. He's like he'll tell you where to go. Go here, go there, go do this.
We found a deal, so I think we're gonna take Aria for her birthday. It's been a couple of years for us.
Oh, you should go with my wife.
Yeah,
call my wife.
Really? Tell her. So there was a deal online. It was like kids get in for $50.
Oh, really? That's
nice. I was like, the heck? Yeah. It's funny that that's a deal.
Call Joanna. She'll hook you guys up.
Yeah, let us know. Okay, cool. We're gonna go. So thinking about, there's a bunch that they haven't seen and done yet. So.
Oh yeah, go with my wife and I. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Oh, that'd be cool. All right,
we have a good time. All right, so I'm just gonna skip there's some practical applications here, but cryptography, cybersecurity is a whole problem. You can just pretty much kiss your cybersecurity goodbye. Drug discovery, healthcare, big benefits there. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, we already covered that.
Big benefits there, but you got to wonder, like, hey, this is, I don't know, is this conspiratorial? That the money's not in the cure, the money's in the treatment.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That'd be really, really bad and shady if you found the cure and you don't let us know you found the cure.
Yeah, politics, man. The older I've gotten, the more I've experienced politics firsthand, and it is wild. Humans individually have a conscience. Humans collectively, politically, will do things with no morality,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll justify it in the name of this is the best thing for the business or the political party or whatever it is, and it's kind of wild to see that people divorce themselves from
Kind of
the
reminds me of
humanity.
that show that you told me you were watching.
What show?
Severance. Is that it?
So good.
Where you can separate yourself.
Yeah,
from
did
your
you ever
fa-
watch it?
No, you told me, but the concept stuck with me, and I thought, wow, this is exactly that's what that is.
I literally cannot tell you to watch a show.
I don't watch TV shows.
Yeah, okay, you're a terrible human being, but fine. So in the financial markets and for the modeling optimization, quantum Monte Carlo simulations improve risk analysis in financial markets. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup are all exploring quantum strategies for portfolio optimization.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like,
Run all the scenarios.
run all the scenarios, and you're just gonna have to pay all these portfolio managers, like, cut their salaries in half.
Yeah. We ran all the scenarios that are possible, all of them, and we picked the best one. We don't need you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't need your. I appreciate your investment strategy. It's cute, but this computer told us all of them, and we picked the best one. So, did you run all the models? No. You just ran a couple.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
We ran all of them.
Yeah, but what if you look like a study? You chose the best model.
I feel like the best model is going to eke any human out at that point.
Yeah,
you
you
know what I
think
mean?
so?
There's going to be something where you're just like, yeah, I don't know. Climate science, material discovery. I'm going to forego all that whole thing.
Mhm.
Are quantum computers tapping into parallel universes? You ask. Yes, they are.
Tell me.
Yeah.
This is what you're here for.
So the quantum world is strange, and some believe quantum computers might be leveraging alternate realities.
Some believe this.
Yeah,
Huh?
some believe that. Smart people, not people like me that are morons. Like, hey, the alternate reality. It's a smarter person. So the multiverse theory and quantum computing, many world interpretation. They have an acronym for it, MWI.
Many world interpretation.
There's many world interpretation. This is science. This is not theory. This is science theory.
This is gonna turn into one of those acronyms that people start throwing around. They expect you to know, but
Yeah.
you don't know.
Hey, man, have you been to the MWI theory conference? Yeah. It's awesome, bro. All right. So the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics suggests that every quantum event splits reality into multiple branches. Instead of a singular outcome, every possible result exists simultaneously in a different universe. Some physicists speculate that quantum computers, by utilizing superposition and entanglement, like we talked about at the top of the show, may be borrowing computational power from these parallel realities.
So how do we know that? The question is, how quickly can it tell if that we're in one of the better scenarios or one of the worst scenarios?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
You don't know, right? Or what if we are branching off, creating other realities every time we use it? They don't know.
It's possible.
For all you know, you're creating a multiverse now. That every time you use that damn computer,
Mhm.
like different realities spin
You
off.
just created a new black
Yeah.
hole. A new black hole.
Yeah, a new world where Said's real name is Trump. You know what I mean? Like you don't know.
Why?
Like,
Why?
Because
Why?
you made the mouth
Why can't I be?
movements.
Yeah. Why can't I be Michael B. Jordan?
You made the mouth movements. I can't do a Trump voice. I'll try it again later.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So David Deutsch's theory, quantum computing and parallel universes. There's another theory. I know you're thinking like, wait, there was one? No, there's more.
No, there's more theories.
Yeah.
Okay.
David Deutsch, one of the pioneers of quantum computation, is a firm believer in the multiverse theory. He was one of the pioneers of this technology, and he's a firm believer in it. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not just some random dude who's like, bro, I saw an alien. You know what I mean? Like
This guy.
this is the guy who came up with it.
All right.
Right. He argues that when a quantum computer performs a calculation, it is splitting into different versions of itself across many realities, solving the problem in all possible worlds simultaneously. This guy came up with it.
Yeah.
And he's talking about splitting the world. Like,
What's his name again?
David Deutsch.
I feel like David Deutsch is got to be on the same level as Einstein, right? Like what does somebody need to be able to create to where your name will then be also recognized like Einstein? Like, God
Einstein
damn,
was so far ahead of the game.
he was so far ahead of the game. But I mean,
So
look at this
far ahead of the
guy.
game.
How is he not in the paper every day?
David Deutsch. Deutsch.
Then again, who reads the paper? What am I doing?
The D-wave quantum computer and the parallel universe hypothesis. There's more. Number
Okay.
3. The D-wave, a company specializing in quantum annealers, don't worry, doesn't matter, has been associated with some of the wildest claims about quantum computing and alternate dimensions. Because why have an alternate reality when you can have an alternate dimension?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Jordy Rose, co-founder of D-Wave, once made headlines by suggesting that their quantum computers might be tapping into parallel universes to perform calculations. While mainstream scientists are skeptical of this claim, the black box nature of quantum mechanics leaves room for mystery. So you got three completely different, independent, neutral people, right? One is a pioneer, another who specializes and built a quantum computer, and another one who just looked at the analytics here, and this has been a theory going all the way back to Einstein's days, that suggests that this is a real possibility that we're tapping into parallel dimensions and we don't even know it. We're just doing this stuff and we're like, hey, this is fun.
Yeah.
Solve that problem.
Next stop, time travel.
Yeah, pretty much. The strange reality of quantum tunneling and superposition. So quantum tunneling, a particle can appear on the other side of a barrier without crossing it in the classical sense. Some see this as evidence that it briefly jumps to another dimension. So think about this. If you have a quantum computer and you have these qubits, right? There's a wall separating them. They can vanish and reappear on the other side of the wall.
Right.
What?
Why? Why?
Wait,
How?
what?
How?
How's it? And at the same time, it's fluid. It's morphing from 1 to 0 to 1 and 0 all at the same time at all times. And then it just disappears and then reappears on the other side of the wall.
Right.
And they're like, let's do a calculation. That doesn't sound scary to you, bro?
This is Doctor Strange, bro.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's Doctor Strange.
And people are using these computers going like, shut up on the other side of the wall. We don't know why. Yeah. It's weird. Or if you have a quantum entangled qubit in Japan and one in Germany, and you're performing calculations, the calculations are the same in both spots at the same time.
Yeah, man. It just,
that doesn't strike you as weird?
It just makes it even, when they always tell you, like, if you can think it, then it can happen.
Well, there's another theory. Delayed choice experiments. Yeah.
Delayed choice? Oh, wow.
I like to call this delayed gratification, but whatever. In quantum physics, experiments suggest that actions taken in the present can retroactively affect the past, defying classical causality. Some interpret this as evidence of interactions with parallel realities. So,
give me an example.
In quantum physics, if your qubit were to change to, for example, green now, it will always show green historically, even though it may have been red before. So it's changing the nature of what it was previously. So to your time travel point, right? If I can change something today that changes everything you thought about it historically, have you traveled through time? You've affected it. Is time linear? Are you broke it off and started a new dimension now?
That's a very good point.
Where that car that you changed the color of to green was red before?
You could change like one of the worst things that's ever happened in history.
Yeah.
Right?
Saied cutting his hair.
Yeah, going on with the Lolo.
Yeah, went back to Lolo, bro.
Or no, just changing everything that you've ever thought about Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
That's it.
Take his DNA out the equation.
Yeah, all of a sudden he becomes like the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
He goes from Genghis Khan to the Dalai Lama.
Maybe we're all Asian afterward.
Yeah.
Maybe he conquered. Maybe he did. Maybe won.
Yeah, maybe he did win.
Yeah. It's weird. So there's some criticisms here and some alternative explanations. Not a lot though. I looked hard for alternative explanations. Most physicists believe that quantum computers operate strictly within the laws of quantum mechanics. No need for extra dimensions. Quantum parallelism can be explained by the way qubits exist in many possible states without invoking parallel universes. However, because we still do not fully understand quantum mechanics, the possibility of higher dimensional interactions remains open. So basically, people are like, nah, there's no alternative dimension. How do you know? I don't, but it doesn't sound like a real thing. That's where we're at with this. Are you still going to use it? Oh, yeah, I'm still going to use it. Aren't you worried about parallel dimensions? Nah. Right up until you realize there is one. It's like me saying, hey, man.
What if there's a way to use it, you'd be able to use it to be able to fact check something in the past?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can confirm or didn't.
Does the Ark of the Covenant really exist? Is it a real thing? Let's go back and check it out.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. By the way, there's rumored to be in like Ethiopia or some random ass. Like, I want to say Ethiopia. I'd have to go back and check. It's like
another flag.
Random?
No. Should random A.
No, that's an animal.
You
It's a donkey.
Oh.
It's actually it's a
Okay.
donkey. It's an animal.
Okay.
Okay. Not every word that you believe has a negative
We're
connotation.
keeping it PG-13. Some of this has to be. Listen,
It's
I watched
a random donkey.
I watched Mrs. Doubtfire not too long ago.
Did you really?
And it was bad, bro.
Robin Williams was a terribly graphic comedian.
But this was a movie you're supposed to watch with your family.
Dude, there's so many movies from back then you can't watch anymore.
Yeah.
With your family?
With your family.
Or alone?
I know. I literally, we got on the plane to go to Frisco, and I had my son watch. I was like, trust me, you should watch Mrs. Doubtfire. This is an amazing movie.
What's your bad?
This is hilarious. Let's watch it together. So we shared headphones, and and as it's going, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I haven't seen this in I don't even know how many years.
Yeah, that was a questionable choice by you. Why can't you just do something normal like watch Hot Wheels? Like, why you got to watch, he's too young for that.
Is he?
Yes.
Mrs. Doubtfire? He's almost 9.
Dude, no. There's like
Dude, the kids
serious topics of divorce in that.
What do you mean?
He's divorced his wife. His wife divorced him. He's dressing up as a woman to be the babysitter to take care of his own kids.
It's
depressing.
That's how much the dad loves his kids.
Okay. Also, stop trying to champion yourself as the world's greatest dad. Okay?
Why do you got to bring it back to that?
Because it's clearly where you're going with
I'm going with.
Just let me know when you can put on your Mrs. Doubtfire dress. Okay?
I'll do it for the show.
No, you're not. Don't do it for me. Do it for you. All right, I got some mind-blowing facts. We'll call it a wrap because, we've pretty much gone off the deep end of financial literacy tonight for this. All right, quantum tunneling. A quantum particle can pass through a barrier without crossing it in the classical sense. That's a pretty crazy thing. We talked about it earlier. But that's kind of a wild thing. For it not having, like, parallel dimensions, explain to me how this gets to the other side of the wall. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
From a science perspective, is it teleporting? Is this early teleportation? Is that what's happening here?
How does it get in there?
I don't know. Number 2, the spooky action that we talked about before at a distance effect. Einstein's term for quantum entanglement, where two particles become instantaneously connected no matter how far apart they are. And I'm talking like if two particles can be quantumly entangled literally across the country and across the world, for that matter. They're saying this is a possibility. How can we leverage these two things that can speak to each other instantaneously across the world? Well, what do? You start sending communication through a network of entangled qubits.
Right.
At an instantaneous cadence, anywhere in the world at any point in time. You don't need cell sites. You don't need satellites. You don't need a mobile device.
That's what I was wondering. Like, what are they tapping into all the other technology that's out there and like being able to utilize it and leverage it? Is that how they're able to do it?
Well, number 3, teleportation is real, sort of. Scientists have achieved quantum teleportation of information between particles. They're able to send information.
Information, yeah.
Okay, well, we are all essentially machines. Humans, animals are machines.
Right.
We're just very complex tissue,
right.
carbon-based life forms.
Yeah,
what we are really building here is we are building the infrastructure for a silicone-based life form.
Yes, sir.
And that's scary. That is scary. The silicone-based life form.
Imagine me being able to come hang out at your house and not have to leave my house.
Yeah. You don't need AI. You could just quantum pivot over there.
Yeah.
What's up, dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could be talking to me at the same time you're talking to your wife back home. Because we're quantumly entangled.
Dude, I could be doing the podcast from home. Yeah. From my bed right now.
Let's not get a visual going.
Why?
I've seen what you sleep in. It's questionable.
You have not seen what I sleep in. What do I sleep in? Let's go for it.
You sleep in basketball shorts.
No, ew. No,
what do you mean, ew?
Those are my teenage.
What do you sleep in?
Teenage years, boxers, bro.
You sleep in boxers?
Yeah, but not the boxer briefs. Because I wear boxer briefs. I wear boxer briefs during the day, right?
Yeah.
But at night, I got to wear the bigger ones, flowy ones.
Really?
Yeah. With a t-shirt.
I pegged you for like a leisure suit guy.
With a t.
like some underoos or something. You know
I'm
what I mean?
the brain has been working overtime tonight to not jump on some of these jokes.
Like, you ever see like those Dapper Dandy like ads on?
Yes.
It's usually an older African American dude with a great beard.
Yeah.
And he's like always dressed in like these like super relaxed, chill like leisure wear.
Yeah.
I don't know where you wear that stuff to unless you're going to like a pool party in Vegas.
One of the best. I actually sleep in one of the best gifts Odun has ever gotten me was for my birthday one year. He got me a bunch of these. Was it like J. Crew athleisure wear shirts, like Henley shirts,
Okay.
but they got that dry fit material. So I sleep in one of those with boxers.
I don't sleep with a shirt on. No shirts.
No shirts.
Yeah, no. It makes me feel like claustrophobic. I
Really?
want freedom, bro.
Freedom. You like to feel free.
I just don't want all the stuff on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be one with nature.
One with nature, with
Yeah.
the berries and everything.
Yeah, I feel like myself and some social media influencers that have big beards and might be on a lot of steroids. We kind of relate to one another.
Oh,
You know what I
really?
mean? Yeah.
Okay.
Primal.
Primal.
Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. I never even followed him.
Oh, really?
I swear.
Really?
I got all my content from you. You just sent it my way.
That's probably true. All right, last one. Quantum internet is coming.
Finally.
What?
About time.
Oh, bro, Google came and they just installed, fiber optic cable. Yeah, I got quantum computing at home now. Thanks.
Dude, I don't even have fiber optic cables by my house yet. I mean,
Oh.
it's 2025.
I got it at home. It's great.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, you need all that. It's amazing.
The benefits of living in urban.
Yeah, the upload status is crazy good. So the idea of an ultra-secure quantum internet is being developed by the U.S. Department of Energy. That's who I would trust to do it.
I mean, who else?
Yeah.
Who else would you trust?
Well, the thing that's fascinating about this is in a quantum internet
Mhm.
is, in theory, if you were to have a stabilized particle at a normalized temperature, which is very far off from where we are today,
Yeah, you said negative 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
over 400 degrees, you could technically, in theory, be able to do this at some point in the future outside of a machine-like environment. It could just pass from one area to another area.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Qubits just rolling around, transmitting information all over the world at the
And
same time.
we know just looking back on through time, technology has grown at an exponentially faster rate.
Oh yeah, dude.
So, this is gonna be here by the time Adam and Arya and Carter are adults.
Dude, you got AGI this year.
Yeah.
You plug in AGI to quantum computing, and it's game over. Why are humans even here?
We got it from here.
We are basically the monkeys.
Yeah, you guys ruined this. We got it from here. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, look at these people brushing teeth. What?
It's honestly the bane of my existence.
These weird animals that are just glorified tubes. Stuff goes in one end, comes out the other end.
Do you understand?
All these holes. Why do they have all these holes?
Do you understand the how annoying it is to know okay, I gotta go brush my teeth, and then I brush my teeth, and then my wife I always let my wife get ready to go in bed first because I don't like to have to pause and wait for her. So she gets ready, she gets in bed, and then I start
get in bed first.
You do first. That's your
King
that's
of the
your
castle.
move.
La, 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 la.
That's your move.
My wife takes like a 45-minute shower, dude.
45-minute shower.
I'm in and out like 2 minutes.
Oh wow.
She gets out. She's got to put lotion on her skin. Got to brush her hair.
Yeah, she's got a whole routine. That's why I say she's got to go first for the shower, and then I'll go in after while she's doing that routine. And then I'm brushing my teeth, and I get done, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to floss every single night.
I don't floss every single night.
I live with a dental hygienist.
I'll
I'll close the drawer and I'll start walking away. You didn't floss? Damn.
Yeah, I don't floss every single night. What I do is I have those little floss pick things.
Those, yeah. She says if you're not gonna floss, at least do that.
I have those, and I use those every morning religiously, and I'll just chew on them and stuff while I'm doing them. Yeah, I'll get in there deep.
Yeah,
because I don't trust dentists or hygienists. Bro, it's like a scam.
It's not a scam.
It is a scam. Here's the truth, okay? And science has proven this. This is going to upset a lot of people. Okay?
Science is not proven. Be careful what you say here.
Quantum computing has proved this. You can go back in time and forward in time, okay? A lot of your teeth and the damage that may or may not occur is genetic.
It's genetic, yeah. I know. I've heard that.
So everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're eating all this sugar, bro."
No, but that's sending the wrong.
You're gonna get cavities, man.
No, but that's sending the wrong message.
No, you're not.
If you don't take care of yourself, then of course it's going to deteriorate.
Why are we telling kids don't eat sugar? Because it's not good for you.
Yeah.
But it's not going to make your teeth all jacked up. That's just bad genetics.
Well, because that's the fear that you instill in kids. You don't want to go to the dentist.
Bro, you're the wrong person to talk about. I still haven't got over the whole worm thing that you did to your kids. That's wrong. That's not appropriate.
Yeah. It's not appropriate.
I can't even tell people in this new revised version of the show where we're trying to be appropriate. This nasty stories you were telling people in the show before. It was totally fine to scare my kid. Honestly,
At what point are you going to start having honest conversations with Carter?
I do now.
So I'm the bad guy for showing him Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, dude. What 9-year-old's like? You know what? feel like early Robin Williams. No, you know what? Let's skip Mork and Mindy. Let's go straight to Mrs. Doubtfire.
Wait, you haven't shown Carter any movies from like back in the day when you were younger?
Nope.
None.
No.
Bro, you got to show him The Sandlot.
Dude, he's 5.
Yeah, that's when Adam watched it.
Oh,
Loved it.
This is child abuse.
Sandlot?
Yeah, man.
No, come on, man.
You know you were setting false expectations.
Why?
You wanted to be the announcer or the player. You were making it clear to him right up front.
No, so
This is why he plays basketball way different now.
You want to know what he got from that movie?
He wants a dog?
Do you remember that movie clearly?
Vividly, yeah.
Okay. So he watches the whole movie. Okay, first of all, and
Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Benny, look at you.
Yeah.
Man, you just got that dialed in.
I'm in.
Yeah. He watches the whole movie, right? Loves all the different scenes, and right when the movie ends, he looks over at me and he goes, "Are you my stepdad?" I'm like, "No, I'm not your stepdad." That's what you got from the movie?
Is he traumatizing your kid?
Yeah, really. I could tell like that's where the wheels are turning. Like, oh, where's his dad? Where's his dad?
This is why 9-year-olds, and certainly not 5-year-olds, don't watch Sandlot.
Oh, but then that's when you can have the real conversations.
Yeah, I'm with them now.
Yeah.
Son, I'm gonna need you to get a job. Okay.
So what are you gonna tell Carter when he watches Toy Story again for the next time? He's like, "Where's the dad?"
I don't think he's seen Toy Story.
He hasn't seen Toy Story? Wow.
Doesn't like it.
Really?
No, he likes the Lion King.
Okay.
We watched the live action one recently. He's really into that. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Cats.
Do you watch it?
I watched most of it, not all the way through.
I heard good things.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mhm.
I was like,
I thought they were brothers.
man, this is hyper real.
I didn't know that they weren't brothers.
Our brothers?
What do you mean? Mufasa and Scar?
What?
Bro, they address it in the movie. You didn't watch it.
Listen, first of all, I'm not ruining the movie for people, okay? Don't be that guy.
Listen, it's been out. If you haven't seen it, shame on you. You're not a real Lion King fan.
First of all,
You're Lion King.
Oh, God.
You're Lion King.
It's too late for this. I can't get the cliche jokes to you.
Okay. All right.
I see when we did the AI episode, I felt really strongly about it afterward. I'm like, people are gonna like this. We did this episode, I'm like, maybe a little bit too much.
I mean, I don't think they.
It was hard.
I don't think they're going to be able to grasp.
Wow, did you just call the listener stupid?
No,
That's
I didn't.
Saied at higherstandardpodcast.com.
Wow. First of all, hold on. That's not calling him stupid. That's saying that you did not do a good enough job articulating what it's capable of doing.
I'm sorry. I broke down quantum computing in an hour-long podcast episode.
It's impressive.
What were you doing over here, Chief?
Comedic relief.
Yeah. Wasn't very funny.
I know. It's hard when you're taping down the show.
How do you do a quantum computer joke?
Yeah. So you can be two places at
Teleporting.
one time
If you could teleport to the bathroom?
while still being here
Yeah.
doing the show.
You don't want that. Does it smell here if it's over there?
That's the
I mean, I don't know.
thing,
It's
right?
a thing.
If they can crack that code, then game over.
I have something to say, but I'm not going to. I'm going to refrain because I'm a bigger man. Than you.
Yeah, more ways than one.
Yeah.
All right. Got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Or good night, everybody. Again.
Yeah, parallel. Yeah.
Quantum computing. It's parallel universes.
Yeah. Did you hear that already?
Qubits.
Maybe you heard it.
Did anybody else think about Qbert during this episode? Because I did a lot.